finger. No. All right, now we are live on the Ube of the Tubes. Let's just start.
Okay.
Sorry, my voice. Hang on. Oh, I got no water. Well, that fucking sucks. All right. Well, I just swore in the beginning of this video. That's not good. All right.
We're demonetized.
Demonetized. No, we're monetized.
Demonetize you. Demonetize your family.
You get demonetization. You get demonetization. And you get demonetization. You all get demonetization.
I'm getting a network error on Twitch, Nate.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, like what YouTube was doing the other day.
I mean, I see
Oh,
you
there
on
it goes.
YouTube.
There it goes. I see
Oh,
it.
speed. Okay.
We've been having these technical issues all week. All week. It's really annoying.
That is no fun.
Oh yeah, we had a whole Pokemon Let's Play live stream that day, and we caught a shiny.
A legendary shiny.
shiny
Oh my goodness.
on air, and no one could ever see us catch it because YouTube was like, nah.
It's not important.
YouTube's video was freezing. We could hear ourselves just fine
Oh yeah, you
As
can
we're
hear
like-
everything.
as we're like talking smack to the shiny Pokemon, saying, "Hey, we'll kill you if you don't stay in this ball."
And we didn't know it was shiny. I just want to
Yeah,
note
we
this.
caught it, and we see the summary page, and like, that was a shiny.
I was like, no way. Nuh-uh. I didn't believe it. But Kason pointed out the little the thing that makes it all sparkly. Like, okay. You sure?
that's-
And then he looks it up and was like, damn it.
At least
It
you have
was
an
one of those-
audio log of it.
Yeah, it was one of those shinies that like the coloring is just slightly changed,
Oh.
a little desaturized.
So, hello everybody, I'm Nathan Townsend, this is Kason, and this is 3.5 Geeks, and today we got a special guest with us. I call him Geoff, but he probably hates that. It's Jeff.
Hey. How's it going?
How are you, Jeff? What's
I am
happening?
doing just fine. I don't know. I'm in lockdown again.
Oh God.
I hear you're on a bold new adventure, Jeff.
That's true. Ooh, nice segue.
Oh my God. I wish I
We're gonna
thought
call
of
your
that.
shuttlecraft the segue. Yes, it's true. I have a Kickstarter for my first published role-playing game, Boldly Go, which is based on that science fiction series you may have heard of. That
You know, the
hopefully
one that you can't say for copyright reasons.
probably not. No. But you can guess. It's the one without lightsabers. The other one.
Yeah, the one that treks across the universe.
Yes. A wagon train to the stars, if you will.
Oh God. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm having technical issues.
That's okay.
So we'll just talk while we try to work on the technical issues.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We'll We'll fill some air.
So Jeff, tell me about these races you've got in your new Boldly Go. I saw a swamp race. That looks pretty cool.
Okay, yeah. So I'll start off. So, there are 7 playable species in the Boldly Go game as of right now. The first one, and the most obvious one, is humans. They're known as a warrior species because, like, no matter what sort of human you encounter, there is something that will drive them into a rage and make them attack you eventually, no matter how diplomatic they might appear. Let's see. Now I'm going to count on my hands because I always miss one. So there's humans. There's synthoids, which are basically a race of human-like robots who were, in story, they were basically created on one of the moons of Jupiter by some shadowy conspiracy, so that originally they would replace world leaders and get the people to do their bidding. But the synthoids were so intelligent that when they were turned on, they said to their masters, "No, that doesn't seem cool. We're just going to go hang out on Earth." And they did.
That sounds like something out of Alien.
It might be. It might be.
Might be.
They don't have cottage cheese for blood, but otherwise, yeah, it could definitely happen. And then I'll go to the one that you brought up, since there's quite a lot of people who are super excited about that one. That's the Ridians. They are a species of sloth people, and they obviously hang on things a lot, and that's because their arboreal planet is filled with dangerous terrestrial predators. So in their ancient days, like the sloths on Earth, they only came down to poop, and they just went right back up there.
They kind of remind me of a certain walking carpet.
Yes, a little,
yeah.
But they're much mellower,
but more tree based.
Yes, like everybody I've played them plays them either as people who are lightly medicated, or people who are like, just really methodical.
Yeah.
One of the first sloth person was the sloth person doctor, and it's like, "I'm bleeding to death." Hold on. And they're like, no, seriously, my insides are massive. It's okay. I have to be sure.
Excellent.
So I do have quite a few petting zoo people there in the book. The next one are the Goblins. They are a race of cat people from a desert planet, and they're very territorial, so do not touch their stuff. They will get really mad and hissy at you.
My stuff.
Yeah, mine. This is mine. That's yours over there. This is mine. There are the Krakenoids, which are basically a species of squid people, and they're no bones and mostly all tentacles, and any opening that can fit their head will fit their entire body. So they're very good at getting into and out of places.
They would make good rogues.
They might. Somebody actually in one of my playtests played one that he named Cthulhu, and he was super creepy and just stealthed around and clung to the ceiling and stuff.
Very nice.
Weirded out everybody else on the crew. All right, let's see.
Why am I not surprised?
We got 2 left, I think.
I think we've got 2 left. I'm gonna go through my copy of the rulebook because, as per usual, I forgot 1 or 2 of them. Because I'm a genius. Oh yes. Okay. So so number 6 is the Morden. The Morden are a gender fluid species of silicon-based bipeds, and they look like humans with no hair and with metallic skin. And you will see, those of you who look at or purchase or whatever, peruse the book, that I basically told the artist, my friend Dave Woodward, to make the Morden sample character look like David Bowie. Because that's what it is in my head. And he didn't go so far as to draw a lightning bolt on his face, but the feeling is there.
Yes.
And they come from a planet with extremely high gravity, and their sun has turned red. So they have this sort of melancholy demeanor where they're like, oh, our planet is dying, and so all life is precious. But they also have to balance that out with the fact that they are physically the strongest species in the game and could tear you in half if they really wanted to.
And I think the Goblinoid race is the only other one you're missing.
The what?
The more Goblinoid-looking race there, the green one.
The green one. Which one are you looking at? Oh, actually, yes. Okay, so that's actually good, because first of all, I'm colorblind, and when you said the green one, I was like, wait, there's a green one? But so that's Vexa, and she is one of the sample characters, obviously, and she's also the last species type, which is the hybrid species. So in the game, because humans are, they get around, they they can mate and produce offspring with any species other than synthoids, because synthoids are robots. So Vexa is half human and half Krakenoid. So she's like
Oh, that makes sense.
a lady with an endoskeleton, but she's also, an amphibian. so she's sort of a blend between the two. Not so many tentacles, but lots of fingers, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I hope this game works again. I don't know what's wrong with it.
I hope so too.
I don't know what's going on.
We could play Pinochle if it doesn't.
I mean, we could play a different game, but
I mean, sure.
it'd be false advertisement. Oh, Jeff, do you have Among Us?
Do I have Among Us? Yes, I do. I do, as a matter of fact.
Damn. All right. Because we were discussing this at one point. We should do like an Among Us game live stream here.
Okay.
And
Is today going to be that day?
it might be.
Okay, well.
If this keeps messing up, I'll have to buy Case in Among Us. It won't take very long to download. Wait, do I have you on a Steam, Kason?
I don't have a Steam account.
You don't have a Steam account?
Yeah, how crazy is that?
That is crazy.
I barely ever play on the PC, and I haven't had a desktop in so long, except for now.
Oh, we got a question. What advice do you give if your family doesn't support you? What?
That's a pretty deep question.
That's a very deep question. I didn't expect that to be happening at all.
Is this a question for the panel or a question for me? Because
that's a good question.
I don't know how to answer that.
Rogue Creator said, "What advice would you give if your family doesn't support you?"
Could we go into detail about what they don't support you with, so that we could kind of target our answers towards your particular situation? Because if it's for like creating or something, just prove them wrong. Go get out there and do it. Do what makes you happy. Create.
That's what Jeff is doing.
Yeah, that's true. I will say though that my family is very supportive, so
I know
that doesn't necessarily count. But yes, do the thing that makes you violent or something. Then maybe find something else that you like to do. I don't know.
Don't play Dead by Daylight in real life.
Yeah, no, that's not cool, man. Important safety tip. Thank you, Jason.
That would be very bad, very bad. So tell us about this Kickstarter. Where can we find it?
Oh gosh, well, if you want, I can just post a link into the chat box. I don't know if that will help people.
Maybe.
All right, let's do that. Now, for reasons that should become obvious, I have a window to my Kickstarter open literally all the time. And after the election, I am now down to one page that I refresh obsessively, and it's this one. As opposed to the one with election results.
I was refreshing the election results.
Yep, I was checking in every few hours.
I couldn't help.
Yeah.
Nevada, hurry up and report.
Like, why aren't the numbers moving?
Move! And then out of nowhere, one day later, the numbers went jump.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, woohoo! The needle moved.
It did the thing.
Hooray!
It was like all of the U.S. was waiting on their STD results.
Oh gosh, I know. Am I gonna have to call Kendra? Nope, we're good.
So, if you look in the description of this video, you will find the Kickstarter link in there. So
yes.
I also posted it in the Twitch chat.
So we are go on whatever. I'm repairing something.
Okay.
So
good luck.
What was your inspiring? Oops, I'm bad at this.
Yeah. What inspired your game?
So in 2010, I got divorced, and I wound up like spending way more time online than is, healthy, trying to put my brain back together after that. And so one of the things that I found that really got me through, because in addition to, being at a crossroads of life, I was also sort of in a creative slump. And so I was like, I don't feel like making things. I'm just kind of fumbling around and, I worked with some friends and we made stuff together, but I didn't have anything that was really like a project I could sink my teeth into. And I was I was watching a lot of Red Letter Media. I don't know if you know those guys.
I don't. Who is the Red Letter Media?
So Red Letter Media, they are most famous, I think, to people who don't really know them for the Plinkett reviews of the Star Wars movies. But they also review other movies and talk a lot about movies and talk about the craft of movie making, and that was really inspiring. And a couple of the guys who, I guess, basically work/own the channel, Mike and Rich, are really, really, really super big in. Was that a good thing? Or
No, that's a bad thing. I'm running away. Keep going.
Okay. We're really super big into Star Trek. And I was like, oh man, I've seen some, but I haven't seen all of it. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try watching everything, the whole thing in order. All 700 and something episodes, but it's like more now because I was slow when they made me serious while I was waiting.
Like Picard?
Yeah, like Picard and Discovery and Lower Decks, which is great, which is my favorite. I love it. So I started watching the original series and I was like, oh, this is great. I forgot how great this is. Like it's goofy and it's earnest, but it's just super great. And I'm like, there should be a game about this. And then I was like, oh wait, there's like 3. like doing a Star Trek game isn't anything new. And then I was like, well, okay, but one of the things that I always noticed about those games is that they were very number heavy. So it was like there's, lots of granularity, like you have to roll this to roll that and build your character, and there's all these numbers and there's percentages, and it's always very heavy on the combat and heavy on the ship combat. And I'm like, well, Star Trek isn't really like that.
Right.
Like it's not if I was like, this is not a game that has if a game was based on the show, it would not have a lot of crunch. It would just let you tell stories about people doing stuff and working together and trying to figure things out. And so I started on a very, very, very long road trying to create a system that modeled what I saw in the show as closely as possible, while not getting too bogged down in the weeds so that you couldn't play it. And I did the thing that every game designer does, which is then you play it and you find out how terrible it is. And then you keep playing it until you get it right. And so I am pleased to say that I've either gotten it right or I no longer see anything that's wrong with it, and that's why there's a Kickstarter. So that's my long-winded answer.
That's a good long-winded answer. By the way, Heather on YouTube, Heather Baker says, "Hi, Geoff."
Yes, that's my girlfriend Heather. Hello, Heather.
Well, there you go.
She always comes to me for, well, not to me. I mean, she also comes to me, but she comes to every one of the goofy internet things that I do just to say hello and lurk in the chat. So, hi.
Lurking.
Yes.
Lurking in the shadows, ready. Wow. Always planning and lurking. Sorry.
No,
I personally like the idea of the drama points. What made you come up with that concept?
Oh, so okay. So, well, other games have kind of a drama pointy mechanic.
Right.
The basic gist of it is that the players get this resource that allows them more narrative control over the story. And so the reason why I was like, okay, this system needs something like that is because basically the game is, I mean, it's not designed as a television show, but it's designed to sort of emulate what a television show is like.
Right.
So,
that's the feel I got from the drama points.
Yeah, and so the basic thing is that in the beginning of, and we call all of, well, me, the royal we, the sole employee,
right,
calls the calls the adventures episodes. So in the beginning of the episodes, the players get presented with a problem, and they don't know what the problem is, and they're like, all right, we've got to investigate, and we've got to figure stuff out. And so what happens is that anytime they fail a roll or get hurt or have to have one of their traits, which is, something core to their character, is either triggered by a conversation with someone else or when it works against them. So the example I always use is you have the studiously honest guy with you in the jail cell, and you tell him, tell the guard that I'm sick, and then when he comes in here, we can jump him and take his ray gun. And the honest guy's like, well, I'm really honest, so he's going to know that I'm lying. And it's like, but you're the honest guy, so he'll believe you. And so that works against you because you're honest, so you're a bad liar, but you'll get drama points from it. And so what happens is that at the beginning of the episode, when the stakes are low, you do these things, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. You build up drama points. And then by the end, when the climax is happening, you have all of these points to spend to be like, I'm saving the day, I'm doing this thing, we have to turn the ship around, and it gets all very frenetic and exciting. At least that's
those badass moments that really define a character.
Right. Where it's like, nope, I do not fail this roll because here's all the points I earned earlier. And one of the other things that I did, because I know I do this when I play games, it's like, here's this precious resource that you can spend to make things happen. And so I'm always like, okay, I'm going to save these for when I really need them.
Yep.
And the story's over and I have like 12. And it's like, oh, I missed my moment. But in the game, so it's like, okay, I have to design this so that people like me will know it's okay to spend these, even if it doesn't look like you should. And so what I said is that when you spend a drama point, it turns into a promotion point. And promotion points are the experience points that you use to level up your character. So if you don't spend drama points, they just disappear into the ether. So it behooves you to spend them, not only to make the game more awesome for yourself and your friends, but also because otherwise you will be an ensign forever.
Right. It'll also give you progression.
Yeah.
I totally feel like I totally understand how you feel about that. Like in 5th edition D&D, you get inspiration, and you don't want to spend that inspiration. You want to hold on to it for the right moment.
But you can't earn it again unless you spend it.
I know.
Right.
But you just want to hold on to it, you know what I mean?
But what if I spend it and then I don't have it?
Exactly. And what if I need it for this right moment? And then you realize it's almost near the end of the game. Oh,
yeah. I'm the worst at that in LARPs, because when you LARP, sometimes it's like, here's this cool potion, or here's this cool one-shot magic item, and I'm like, that's great. Oh man, those will come in super handy at some moment. And at the end of the campaign, it's like, oh, these are all expired, and I never used them because I was waiting for just the right moment.
Or like in a Final Fantasy game or an RPG game like that. Ooh,
yeah.
You get the one thing that's really cool and awesome. I better not use it until I really need it.
Yeah.
And then
or you use it at the boss battle and it's like, oh, I'm immune to that. Oh.
I never used it. I never used my Batman retest. It's a vampire LARP thing, or for Vampire the Masquerade they call them Batman retest.
Neat.
And if you fail in a retest, you give them this paper, and you can retest what you were doing.
Oh, nice. I get a do-over, man.
It also uses the success dice system.
Which one?
Vampire the Masquerade. It uses success dice as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it actually it gave me similar feel from your game.
Oh, cool. Yeah. The last time I played the live-action version of the game, it was just rock, paper, scissors. So, so that was a while ago, though. I'm an old man.
It was?
Yeah.
They still LARP like that was rock, paper,
scissors.
scissors.
Oh, okay. All right. Then
I'm in a
never
LARP
mind.
that's just like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Then I'm not as out of the loop as I thought I was.
No, you're not.
It's only the tabletop version that uses the dice.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's where I'm confused. Never mind, kids. I'm a young man. It's lit.
How How old are you,
Yeah.
Jeff?
I'm 47.
You're 47.
Yeah.
I got older people than that I roll.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad there's older people than that out there.
Yeah, they
Yes,
exist.
It's not the end. That is not the cap to all of life.
Yes. There is no say. Logan's Run reference.
I never watched it. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. If you like Apocalypse, thought the nukes were gonna fall any day.
I mean, that still can happen.
I know. Well, yes. It's Optimism Hour here on the live stream.
Yeah. You know, that's how we roll. I'm really upset right now. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I had to.
I was gonna ask how.
Yeah, I had to uninstall it.
And reinstall.
Yeah, because I tried to play another match. Everything was going smoothly, and then it,
yay.
bam.
Less yay.
Even the internet is refusing to go smoothly. Oh, I just realized it's because I'm downloading Dead by Daylight. Ah, F me.
Well,
All
there
right.
you go.
We got to choose a different game. That's all it is. It's like,
All right.
we can't play Among Us because it's 3 of us. And it'd be a little weird talking to people when people are like, all right, whose fault is it? There's 3 of us,
Right.
so it's not our
It ain't
fault.
me.
And
Do you want to do something light, Nate? Like, we could do some of the Jackbox games.
Oh, no. Please,
not a
no.
fan.
No, I love those
Well,
games.
we gotta censor the people.
Oh yes.
Last one we had a lot of political and bigot comments in there.
Oh.
Yeah, it kind of took the wind out of it.
Yeah, that's the problem with letting everybody on the internet play.
Exactly. Nate, you want to run around Pokemon some?
I'm gonna have to get the game upstairs and run it down here, and
Because I know you have that All-Star tournament to do still for storyline.
yeah, it's true. I don't know. I'm upset.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I was looking forward to Dead by Daylight.
That's a bummer.
I got killed.
Yeah, I saw by that pumpkin thing.
I don't even know what that was. I don't even have that character. The pumpkin thing just picked me up and just like, yeah, you're dead. Oh, he totally. What do they call it when they wait near an area just so they can save me? And
Yep.
he's camper. I could play Binding of Isaac.
Oh, that's always good. I do like Binding of Isaac.
Sticking with our horror theme, I don't know if people really want to see that though.
I mean, it's a naked little boy who defeats evil with his tears. It's wholesome.
Yeah,
Very wholesome.
very wholesome, fun for the whole family. All right, it's okay. I'm here for the banter, anywho, and maybe the guy with the hat. I voted for Pedro. Heather's telling me all this.
Yeah, I saw.
What's
I
that
just noticed them as you were reading them, and I was like, oh, somebody's lively in the chat tonight.
It's Heather.
Dun dun dun.
All right, I guess we're playing Binding Isaac.
Okay.
That's just what's happening. It's the only way we're gonna be able to do this. Ruined, I say.
Ruined.
It's ruined. These ruined ruins.
So Jeff,
Yeah.
Oh, I
tell
set
us
up.
about the limited backings, the higher up ones.
Okay, actually, I'll just run through them all real
Mother
quick. Let me
lived alone
go
in
back
a
to
small
the
house
page that I have bookmarked.
Isaac kept to himself.
So the lower tier ones are your obvious ones. You get a PDF. You get a PDF and a print copy. And then when you hit Lieutenant, which is pledging $40 or more, you get the PDF and the print, and you get these really cool Boldly Go dice that I ordered from Poland that should be here any day. That are...
That's the year that I pledged.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they look really great. I'm really excited about them. So in the game, you roll d6s to see if you succeed, and 5s and 6s count as success. So the dice are blank on 4 sides and have the Space Fleet logo on...
For the successes.
Yeah, so you just roll and you're like, it's those! But you can also use regular dice, too, if you didn't back that and you have
5s and 6s.
dice. Right. So then when you go up, you get the Lieutenant Commander, which is the same thing as Lieutenant, except for an extra $10. I signed the book for you. Woo! Don't forge any checks. There's one that's no longer available, which is the Commander level, which is that in addition to all of that other stuff, so in the game, the players get to design their own ships, and they also get to design some NPC crew members for that ship. And so most of the time what happens is it's just like, Star Trek. There's a nameless NPC crew member walking around. You're like, hey, person, come with me. But these are specific crew members with names and some stats and a little backstory that the players make at the table, and then the game master gets to portray them, and the players are like, oh, the ship feels bigger, and I've got extra crew members to interact with and have them do things. So at this level, which again is filled, the people who purchased it get to design one of the crew members of the sample ship that's in game. So if you use that ship, you will set out with several crew members that are your fellow Kickstarters.
Hooray!
Yeah, and then as a captain, which is the next tier, instead of that whole thing I just described, we're coming out with Season 1 of Boldly Go eventually, which is a collaboration of me and a few of my friends. And it's probably going to be 16 to 20 semi-linked adventures for the game. And you can basically start with beginning characters and just go all the way through the season and see how the story develops and whatever. And so you can, at the captain level, make an NPC character that will appear somewhere in one of those episodes, like
In the story mode.
yeah. So it's like, here is Nate portraying, that guy at the bar. Or
That
whatever.
guy!
Yeah.
That guy!
And then the Commodore level, which is the one up above that, I do this incredibly nerdy thing where, like, all of my example text where it's like, okay, we talked about rolling, so here's the example of what rolling looks like in practice. So I basically always do this thing where I have example players and their example characters. And so in this version of the game, or in this game, I should say, all of the people that you meet, the example players, are named after my friends who helped me playtest the game. But in future installments, you could be one of the named example players.
Very cool.
So I just put out the $ whatever player name and put in your name, or an alias if you're hiding from the government or whatever.
I'm always hiding from the government. They must not know.
On YouTube, that's whoa.
I
You're
know.
braver than I am, that's for sure. And then the last one
boldly
is
go where no
Admiral,
one
which
goes.
is
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
Go,
The
what were
last
you
one is
saying?
Admiral, which
Saying
is
who's boldly going.
I am boldly going, and I'm talking too much. At the last tier, which is Admiral, I will do a online session of Boldly Go for you and up to 5 of your friends, and we will get extra copies of the PDF so that you can share with all of your friends. And that's it.
And that one's almost sold out too, I think.
Let's see. It
I think
is.
it's about half.
Yeah, I had 5, and 2 of them are gone. So.
Well,
So
yeah.
I was excited.
Now. Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No. I was done. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
No more?
No, there's no more tears after that. Only joy.
No
So are we
more
binding
tears.
Isaac?
Yeah, we're binding Isaac.
Awesome.
I'm finding a poop.
That's. I don't even know where you are, but I'm like, yep, that's the game.
Yep. This is the game.
I either do really, really well at that game, or I die in like the first dozen rooms.
Oh yeah.
It's brutal.
This game can be very fortunate or just downright impossible.
Yeah.
But some people are just really good at it. I like watching people play this game, actually.
Oh yeah.
Watching other people play this game is very fun for me for some reason.
See that.
But it's about you, Jeff. Of course you're going to talk. Jeez,
Okay.
we're just here to help you.
Oh well, thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, of course. I was making a joke on Boldly Go, where I boldly go where no one wants to go about the YouTube thing.
Yeah, hiding from the government on YouTube.
Right. Boldly going. I get you. Perfect. It ties everything together in a nice little bow.
I'm a comedian too. I mean, what?
You're great.
I'm better than great. I'm good. I don't know. I was trying to make a log joke, and my brain's like, joke here.
Excellent.
So, what's your favorite show that came out of the Star Trek franchise?
Like of all of them, or of the recent one?
We'll start with all of them because that's a broader range.
Sure. I think my favorite is the Next Generation. Honestly, although I say that having not watched too many episodes of Deep Space Nine, and all of my friends who have watched Deep Space Nine say, "Oh my God, no, it's Deep Space Nine. You have to watch it. It's amazing." Which I'm sure it will be, and I'm sure I will get super into it when I eventually do watch it. But Next Generation, I'm slowly working my way through it, and I'm on season 7 right now, and it's just, I don't know, it's one of those shows where you're like, I put it on, I'm like, oh, these people, I like these people. Yeah. Oh, let's see what goofy stuff they get up to this week. Oh, Wesley, that kind of, it's very comforting. It's like a comforting TV show, and I think one of the things
figures from it.
What?
I still have all my action figures from it. Like
Oh,
that.
wow, that's cool.
What got me into Star Trek.
Oh, that's awesome. I do not have the action figures. That's great though.
Go figure.
Ford with his removable visor and Worf in his Klingon armor.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
So, you do know what day it is, right?
Yeah, I do.
And it just seems to be this day is living up to its name.
Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
20.
I couldn't play the game that's that kind of themed. I couldn't. Everyone wanted to join us, but they couldn't.
Oh no.
We couldn't get Lexi. We couldn't get Matt. It was like, like, okay.
Yeah, I almost couldn't come either.
It's cursed. That's okay though. We persevere despite the curses.
We did. That's what you gotta do. Is that the one with Picard?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Picardi rum? I mean, that's the one we're talking about, right?
I don't remember him drinking rum, but yes, that's what we're talking about.
Earl Grey?
Oh, lots of
Gray, I
role
believe?
for sure.
Ooh, a key.
A key.
So, we've gone over that. We're excited to add to your world. We want to do as much as we can for you in this project.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
This seems like a project that's really worth people checking it out. And if you want, you can come back again sooner or later.
Sure.
Because I think the others would like to see you.
Oh, absolutely.
If you
Nerd
could
out more about all kinds of sci-fi things together.
Oh yeah.
If you
Yeah,
could
we could be super nerdy.
If you could fulfill Lexi and our good friend Matt here on the show,
Yeah.
I have an honor to talk to you again, and you know both of them, right?
I do. I actually got on the show because I met Lexi at LARP. So
You did, and it was a great having you that first time.
yeah,
it was an
thank you.
amazing time. We had a good time.
It was fun to be on it for sure.
So, I mean, it would make their day if you could do. So we'll have to work out something again. But all in good time.
Yes.
I might die again here.
Oh no,
I
no!
don't have faith in my abilities. And
Don't give up.
So newer shows from the franchise. Which one's your favorite?
I think my favorite is Lower Decks, honestly. And I know I've been online and I've been watching all there's a whole big movement of people who are like, it's not the real Trek. None of this is the real Trek. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's official, so yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you're freaking out about, but I do find that Picard and Discovery, and I'm not saying that I don't like them because I do, but they're awfully grim and kind of weighty. Like there's, it's war and suffering and torture and people with terminal diseases. And I'm not saying that, there's no place for that in the show. Obviously, if those are the stories they want to tell, then they can tell them. And I'm not, I'm not an executive at CBS, so I can't make them stop. Although I've tried.
Make him stop! Make him stop!
But I think because Lower Decks is similar in both era and kind of personality a little bit to the Next Generation, plus the fact that it's goofy funny, and I mean it sort of is the perfect niche thing for me because I'm goofy funny. To an embarrassing degree, and so when they make the dumb references or they say ridiculous things, there's one scene where they're all arguing who's the biggest badass, and somebody says, oh, it's Khan, and somebody else is like, no, it's Roga Danar, and they're like, who the hell is Roga Danar? And it's he's the one guy who defeated Picard, and they're like, that doesn't count, And I'm like, oh, that's great, that's really great, that's very clever.
I like that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and
Good stuff.
it's just it's cute and sweet and optimistic, and the art's really good, and I mean, I feel like it was made for me, but also for other Trek fans, and so I just love it. I can't
People
wait
are
for
just
the
in
next
love
season.
with the Lower Decks. I mean
That's
lower
good.
Deck. I'm saying it wrong.
I was because I'm on YouTube, and it's like oh, because you like Star Trek stuff, here's all of these channels of people saying how much Star Trek is awful because they're real Star Trek fans, and I'm just like, this is weird. I'm just gonna ignore this.
You should. That's just dumb. And Heather says I would like to see him again. Stares.
Obviously we will.
We'll meet again.
Exactly.
Don't know where. Don't know when.
I'm pretty sure where. I just don't know when exactly.
Okay. Well,
but so we're halfway there.
I haven't seen a lot of the new shows, but I have been enjoying a parody show of Star Trek called Orville.
Oh, I like that one too.
a lot of people like that one. That's seems to be the everyone's like, that's the next Star Trek right there, the unofficial Star Trek.
I do have to admire Seth MacFarlane's chutzpah though, because like there's this one of the episodes is the I don't know, the antagonist, the person of interest in the show is played by Charlize Theron, who is like, you know, gorgeous and very talented and whatever. And there's this scene where like she, you know, has sex with Seth MacFarlane's captain character, and I'm like, you hired Charlize Theron, and then you wrote it. Wow, that is bold, my man. Like, props to you and your
took that
massive
mantra
ego.
to heart. Boldly go.
Yes, he did. He's like, I have no fear. What are they gonna do? Ask me to edit it? I'm the producer. Yes.
I edit things all the time.
Oh, that's good. Me too.
I'm an editor of this show.
Cool.
We also have a podcast if you would like to join us.
Oh, that sounds fun. I did not know there was a podcast as well.
Yeah, it's for our Patreon subscribers.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Going behind the velvet rope. I like it.
Yeah. And we do that on
Tuesday.
Tuesdays, once a week.
Okay. Cool.
We got one on the 17th coming up. You're more than welcome. If you can't,
Okay.
understandable.
I can't right now because that's the night of my big Call of Cthulhu campaign that I've been running.
Ooh.
But in the future, I will try and make it to one and listen in.
Yeah, you can always listen into them. We do them right here on the Discord channel.
Oh, cool. Oh, that
Yeah.
makes it easier. For sure.
You get to hear us live on Discord. It's pretty cool.
Woo!
Otherwise, you have to pay the Patreon to listen to it. I know there's a crux.
That sweet, sweet Patreon money.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we gotta live to
No, I get you. I get you.
human beings, you know. But it's always fun. It's a lot of good time. But you know, we always, you know, we do this on Wednesdays. I'm doing a Friday fright thing, kind of.
Is Friday always Fright days, or is it different theme days depending on your mood?
No, it's the new thing. It's a new thing. I just decided to start Friday fright.
Okay.
Brand new.
Smash Sundays.
Smash Sundays. Yes, we do that.
Nice.
Oh, it's a good time. Then you can have him then. What day? My reflection. Boomerang tears.
Oh, now you're going.
I love getting... The one thing that... Oh, God. I had, like, all... In this one round, I had, like, all these freaking... like, all these cool satanic abilities and all that. And then suddenly I ran into a randomizer and it randomized all the... I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, no.
I hate you, randomizer.
Not cool, man.
Not cool, not cool, not cool. But, you know, that's the name of Isaac.
It's true. Completely random.
I thought his name was Isaac, not random.
Well, it can be
Well,
both.
Now I don't know.
Isaac.
That is a lot of enemies.
I don't know if I can kill them or not. I don't know what's going on. I don't think I can.
They don't seem to be reacting to your,
Tears?
yeah. I was gonna say projectiles.
Okay, I couldn't hurt him. I had to kill the other enemies for some reason.
There you go. You got a key.
I got a key! But yeah, I mean, I really hope, like, if everyone really gets on this, Geoff can make a hard a
Yeah, the
hardcover
stretch
copy,
goal,
and it was color and all
copies.
that.
Yeah, those are my stretch goals, is to do all the inner art in color and also print it in hardback. So
I would love to see that. I'm a big fan of hardcover books.
me too.
I don't like getting the PDFs, but the PDFs are unnecessary evil.
Yeah, well, it makes it easier, for people who either don't have a lot of money or who are like overseas and are like, I don't want to pay for shipping, just send it to me electronically.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got it. You got it.
Totally understandable. I get it. I get why
And
you would want that.
Regardless of what tier you donate at, you get a thanks in the book.
Yeah, that's true. I'm extremely grateful, and every little bit helps for sure.
Oh yeah.
You get to be a part of history endorsing this game.
Yes.
And as a person who's kickstarted multiple projects, I've done all kinds of things, and it's always feels great. I did what did I actually kickstarted several big video game ones.
Oh, cool.
I kickstarted, what's it called? Framework. It's coming to my mind. It's slowly. God damn it, brain, do the thing. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh.
So if you look you'll look there. You'll see the name 3.5 Geeks.
Nice. That's super cool.
It's the same with unfortunately the Mega Man one. That failed mediocre game that came out.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they can't all be winners, but
No, they
it's
can't.
good to support creators, especially if they have a cool idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was by Inafune, who's a very heavily experienced person who he doesn't know how to make the games, but he's an artist slash, an inspiration. He's a producer. He makes, but it happens,
Yeah. I mean, it's, and that's one of the things that I'm really grateful for, because, like, for the most part, people on Kickstarter don't know me, and don't know what I'm doing, and don't know what the product is like, and they're still giving me money anyway, and so, obviously you try to make the best product possible so that everybody's happy, but sometimes it doesn't work out.
Exactly. But I have trust in this product, and if you're watching this now, it's definitely worth the look, and even if you're doing like $1,
Yeah. I am happy for
Is that
whatever.
the minimum $1? I thought it was.
The minimum is $1.
Yes. And
But
it's $1 one time, you're giving back.
Right. Yeah, but I'm excited because I've been going. This is my second week now. It ends December 2nd, and I'm already 75% of the way there, which I did not think I was gonna do actually by this point.
Isaac is not naked anymore. He has pair.
Oh, that's good.
He has a
That's
pair
good.
of
Yeah,
camo underwear.
I made sure to share in a few groups that are gamers that I play with too. I wanted to make sure that you got some exposure, Jeff, because
Thanks.
I think it looks really promising.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
I I haven't exposed it to yet. I don't think I've exposed it to the Porcon group, which I shall.
Okay.
You should, yeah.
Porcon Maine, it's a big gaming / anime / convention, and I do a lot of I DM a lot of campaigns, and which I have confidence in, of your campaign, we'll do a live stream for it.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, I would love that. That sounds like it would be a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah. I don't know who'll be DMing. Usually I'm the one DMing, but who knows?
Yeah.
It'd be really awesome. We'll have a
And
good time, especially with all the people who I know who really like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm just excited to be able to go to cons again whenever that happens.
Yeah, that
Right?
I'm itching for social interactions again.
Yeah.
And
God,
like
cons were
nerding out with people, seeing some cool cosplays. Like I miss cosplays, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I went to Gen Con online very briefly. I helped out some friends of mine demo some of their games, and it's just not the same.
Yeah, I agree.
You're playing games,
Absolutely.
but it's not the same, and I'm just like, oh, I'm sad now.
I don't blame
I
you.
mean, everybody works really hard to put those things together, and I'm grateful that they do, so that there can
Right,
be some
so that we
experience.
still have some kind of community.
Yeah, and that's great, but it's just like it's not the same as like going places and being in a room with people and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Enjoying it, interacting with people, and the
Yeah.
con experience.
Exactly.
We were lucky enough to get to PAX right before all this happened.
Oh yeah,
Oh, nice.
I'm a big fan of PAX East, and
That's cool.
I try to go there every year, but I even looked. There's no tickets whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's not going back up, and I understand why. I totally get it.
I will be going to a convention in April that hasn't been canceled yet.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's Salem Con. It's for ghost hunting.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
still there's that yet.
Yeah. There is that yet.
Because if I know what's happening lately with COVID, oh god, I said it. Oh well.
We knew that it was gonna spike because of winter anyway. Because it's flu. It's a virus. The cold weather propagates it.
It sure does. Lucky us.
Yeah.
Hooray! So yeah, it's gone through a mutation spike, and it's not good. It's really bad.
Well, here's hoping. Here's hoping
Yeah.
one day we'll all be able to get back together again.
Back to
Right.
normal.
Absolutely. I mean, conventions, you know, they're the best. I can't stop talking about it because I want to go to one so badly.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
We'll get there, Nate. We'll get there.
Time, right?
Yeah. I mean, just staying at home as much as we have to right now has been like a toll on me mentally too.
My new job, like, kind of making friends there, meet some somewhat nerdy people.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, but thing is, it's like someone had COVID and came
Yep.
to work and tested positive, because that's what my work does. They make
Oh,
sure
no.
everyone's, healthy and what they need to be. So,
You got
yeah.
to take the nasal test.
Yeah. Well, we're the ones that make it, the
Oh,
quick
okay.
test.
Yep.
So we're producing the test itself at my work. So it's kind of
That's
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
So we're doing something very important. But,
Yeah.
if the people are making the tests are not doing well,
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't help anybody, unfortunately. Well, thank you for making the test.
You're welcome.
Exactly. Doing a service for the country.
I am. I'm actually doing something very important. It might seem mundane because I'm producing, I'm just like making sure everything's okay with the test, make sure it looks right, make sure the packaging is good. But that's very important to getting it to the people who service you.
Right.
Someone has to do it, Nate.
So it's kind of it's a great job. Not gonna lie.
That's good. I'm glad it's a good job. I'm glad you have a job, because,
Yeah.
Not everyone
Those are
has a
rough
job
times.
right now either.
Yeah.
I still
Alright.
work at my other job too at Amados. So I work in foods biz and that.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, I'm technically working 3 jobs if you think about it.
That is a lot of jobs.
Because this is a job, in a way.
Yeah.
That's because Nathan likes multi-class. He just, he balances all his stats out so that he can do as many jobs as possible.
Are you saying I'm the red mage?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying.
Nice.
You ever read that comic, oh shit, trying to remember. 8-Bit Theater?
Long time ago, yeah.
Yes.
I'm the red mage from the 8-Bit Theater.
Yep.
Well, better that than the black mage. He's scary.
He is. His problems is I'll save everything with a giant nuke, and
Yes.
and I'll stab him with a knife.
Yeah, maybe don't do that, buddy.
So yeah, that's many jobs. I mean, 3.5 Geek is a job in itself. The editing, the raging videos, talking to people, producing.
Getting up at, what 5 in the morning, Nate?
Oh, no, dude, I have to wake up at 3 in the morning at my other job.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed when you're getting up.
Yep. Most people are. Especially nowadays since they're at home.
Yeah.
So, it's only for 12 hours for about 3 or 4 days.
Oh, great.
I
Only
only have
12
the other days. I have other days off, like, except for Friday. Which I work at Amados.
Oh.
I'm a
You pack
workaholic,
every
I
day.
guess.
Oh, gosh. You pack every day full of minutes for sure.
Yeah. Well, gotta make do with doing this crazy time.
That's true. That's true.
But I like doing 3.5 Geeks. This is my baby. This is my dream. My dream job. And you being on it just like makes it even better.
Oh, well, thanks. Thanks. I'm really glad that I could come back on. This is fun.
We like having you guests.
Yay!
Capricorn. I'm a horny demon child now.
I think that's an improvement.
Aren't we all a horny demon child?
Deep down inside, we're all horny demon child. Children? That word.
Yes.
Alright, here we go. Round 2. Oh, the Fallen. Hooray. He's a hard enemy. Ow.
Does he pop a lot?
Maybe. He falls apart.
Good for you.
Oh. I think
Ooh,
he
I got a
just-
child's heart.
I think he just shot some blood everywhere.
Ugh.
Now, this game is weird. It's fun though.
This is giving me some memories, though, Nate. This is one of the first videos I subtitled of yours.
Nuh-uh. You
Yeah.
subtitle one of my... I hope you all
Your
don't think
old
I'm
one.
crazy, but I'm talking to a lot to bump you up in the YouTube algorithm. No, please. I appreciate it. It'll help all of us. And that's part of
Yay.
3.5 Geeks to help everybody.
Yeah, you're not crazy for interacting with us. That helps us a lot.
Helps Jeff, helps me, it helps everybody. Yeah. Well, let's talk about more Jeff's project. Do you have any more
Yeah.
plans, like you like coming soon? Like, is there any things you want to give us early?
the lowdown? Sure, yeah. So I have a fantasy role-playing game called Dungeon Adventure that's available on my website, geoffquest.com.
Okay.
And, you know, if anybody's interested in a simple, light, fairly flexible, gosh, I hope, fantasy system, that's where you can go and grab it. And I've been told by some very nice people that it even works, so that's great. So I think for this, the next thing that I'm going to be doing probably is Season 1, which is all of the adventures for Boldly Go. But then I have... The next thing I've been working on, the next big thing is a spy-themed game that's set in the 60s. That's the working title is Operation Inconceivable, but I'll probably change it. And that uses the same system as Boldly Go does, and instead of, you know, space, it's spy fiction, spy TV from the 60s. So I've watched a lot of, like, Secret Agent and Impossible Mission and all those things, and trying to distill it into a game. And I haven't playtested it yet, but I'm pleased with how the first draft is going.
Distill?
Yeah.
That's just crazy to work.
I mean, I hope so. I hope it works. But if not, it'll be a learning experience.
Thus is life. Learning experiences. To boldly go where no one else has ever gone.
That's true.
If we don't, no one else is going to do it.
Designing?
What got me into game designing?
Yeah.
You know, that's a good question. I don't really know. I've just always kind of done it. Like, I remember when I was a little kid, I would make these board games for my siblings and I to play, and I used to play a lot of Infocom, like text adventures like Zork and stuff like that, and so I would fill pages and pages in a notebook of like, here is a text adventure that you can, like, basically, like, this is the correct path through the text adventure, and I would just write, like, here's all the rooms and here's all the stuff, and then
Kind of like choose your own adventure books?
it was less functional than that, because it's like you are reading the perfect walkthrough of the game. So there wasn't any choices or you know, it was just like, this is how you win an imaginary game that's in my head that I'm never going to code because I don't know how to code, but here it is. And it was, you know, it was something that I would do off and on, and then in 2000 I had half of an idea for a game, and my friend had the other half of the idea for a game, and suddenly I was helping to run a game company, and here we are.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with video game levels.
Oh yeah?
As a kid, I would sit down and I'd be like, no, this side scroller's too easy. Like, this is what the levels should look like in order to incorporate a more, like, intense, you know, vibe or more challenging experience.
Right.
And I'd just have sheets of papers with a whole map drawn on it.
Oh gosh, wow.
Where the NPCs would be and stuff. So, I feel
That's
you
super
there.
cool. Yeah. No, it's definitely very similar. For sure.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, my first game running experience was that in high school I wanted to learn how to play D&D, and I was like, hey, you know what? I like these games. I'm just gonna make it up. And I got my friends together. It's like, here, have some stats. This is your stats. Here, this is this, and I just made it up as we went. Here's the dice.
Nice.
You know, we roll this. And then my friends,
How long it took me to find a tabletop RPG.
Oh yeah, dude, it can take a lot of time. But one of my first, my first interaction is when we first played. The one memory I remember is my friend Chris, or I don't think it was Chris. Someone punch the you punch the tiger and you punch him through the wall through the maze. And he really liked that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's your own imagination. There's less limits.
Heavily inspired by anime, of course.
Awesome.
Because
That's fun.
I like anime. Anime, animon. Oh hell, let's do the trial.
So Jeff, do you have any advice on anyone else that's looking into making their own games?
I mean, this is funny for me because I never feel like I'm an authority on anything. But sometimes people ask me questions and I'm like, oh, actually, I know the answer to that. So, I guess, so one of the things that I've learned in the game industry is that for the most part, everybody you meet in the gaming industry who is making and selling games is a hobbyist just like you. In a lot of ways. So like I make games because I like games and because I have ideas to make games, and so that's why I am a game developer. Right. And most of the game developers I know are the same way. So we're all like, ooh, I have this idea. And there's more now, but there's not always a lot of ways to get your idea out there. And it's either find a company who is willing to help you bring your idea to life, or go it alone. And most people wind up, or develop it on your own, not go it alone.
Right.
Because most companies, like when I was with my old company, Slugfest Games, and even now when I'm doing all my projects on my own, if people would come up to me and say, hey, can you publish my game? I would say, hey, I would love to, but I'm too busy publishing my games. And that's, that doesn't mean that your game is bad, and it doesn't mean I'm not interested in it. It's just these things have been sitting in the back of my head for years, and I just want to put them out there. Yeah. So if you want to go over there and put your game out there, then we can be colleagues, and that would be cool.
How do you go about setting a budget when you're making a new game?
That's really hard. One of the learning experiences for me with this Kickstarter is I was never the finance person. I was the idea person.
Right.
And the idea person is, it's easy to be the idea person because that you I deal in concepts, man. Money doesn't matter. But I will say that when I was with my old company, Slugfest Games, they do mostly board games and card games, and those are many times more expensive to produce and get to market than role-playing games, because role-playing games are for the most part just text,
right?
And it's really easy to disseminate text. But if you look at, just for example, the very first game we ever made was called Kung Fu Fighting, and it was 99 cards and some little player mats and some beads in a box with rules. And I just remember being shocked to learn that in order to make it worth our while to print it, we had to print 5,000 copies, because that was the price break of where everything was cheap enough in bulk for us to order it. And then it's like, well, okay, but then that means you have to sell 5,000 copies.
Right.
And then you start going down the list and you're like, why is the box the most expensive part of this game? That's so weird. And I still don't know, but it is. And
that's
so,
like, oh, he must have insight. Wait, never mind.
No, I don't. And even if you have boxes that are they're standard sized boxes, and even if you say I want this standard, it's still, unless you're getting super fancy custom miniatures or whatever, it's that's where most of your expense is. And it's one of those things where my advice would be, and because this is what we did, we went, not that you should go anywhere right now, but we went to Staples or whatever, and we said, okay, here's basically a Word file with our cards on it. We print it out on cardstock, we cut it up, We brought it to a convention. We said, hey, do you want to try this? We're working on this thing. And people played it. And they played it a lot. And the good thing about that is that we really streamlined our process, and we learned a lot of stuff, and we learned mechanics that worked and what didn't work, and also mechanics that we didn't want to see in our games at all.
Right.
And
kind of spot things that would be problematic.
Right. Like we were like, okay, so this is a mechanic that makes you lose a turn because games have lose a turn mechanics. And then we played it. We're like, we hate lose a turn mechanics. Why do we do this?
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, chuck that. And the nice thing about that is in addition to, like, you got 5 to 10 minutes to try this game. In addition to getting all of the kinks out, figuring out, like, okay, how can we do the best possible game with the components? You also build a little buzz, so people are like, hey, you're the guy who made that thing on index cards. When are you gonna publish that? So that when you do print 5,000 copies, they're like, I'm here with my money.
I have money to give you. Take my money, damn it.
Exactly. And we had the company's biggest seller is the Red Dragon Inn series of games.
I've heard about that.
And it's a fun little beer and pretzel-y card game about drinking and gambling and roughhousing in an adventuring tavern. And we were stuck for years because the big issue was it's individual character decks, and each deck has like 30 pieces of art in it, all unique. And to find artists that have enough time in their schedule to deliver you that much art under a certain budget is really hard.
Yes, it is.
So we were like playing with, like, well, here's the one set that we have that we printed out at Staples, and people were like, I will buy this from you. We're like, okay, so first of all, this is the only game that we have, so if you buy it, we can't play it anymore. You know? And second of all, this is cardstock run off on a printer and I've made like notes in the margins because some of the things that they're like, we don't care, we'll pay you. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we better buy art because this is they're gonna eat us alive if they can't buy this soon. So
I guess that's how you know you have a hit on your hands.
Yeah, I was like, we have to get this printed. And at one point I remember saying, if you can't find an artist, I'm going to draw stick figures and we're gonna do it that way. And they're like, no, we'll find an artist. Don't draw stick figures.
Yeah, but that worked out with certain people with stick figures.
It would. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to do it. Certainly, it would have been a very, very, last-ditch effort to get it out there. And we got some really great artists, and they continue to get great artists, and the game is beautiful, and so that's amazing. But yeah, so I guess my long-winded thing would be, if you have an idea for a game, play test the hell out of it, get it to work. If you think you've got something, go to cons and show it to as many people as you can to build buzz, so that when you have to take the plunge and start spending money, it will not
sell enough copies to not make it flop.
Right, and you won't have like a basement full of unsold product, which is always a nightmare.
Oh God.
And the nice thing too is this was in the early 2000s when I was doing this, and now you've got like print on demands and cards on demand and stuff, and that's great because it's like, oh, you only want one? Well, here's one. And you're not out however many thousands of dollars you need, and then you have to find storage space for 5,000 games.
Right.
Makes sense to me. So
Very
who's
insightful peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, who's doing the art for this game? Who is this person?
Oh, so this is a good friend of mine
people.
who I've known for a long time. His name is Dave Woodward. We're LARP buddies. And he is his company is called Badger Lord Studios.
Ooh.
And he started out and he still does this. He will, for a nominal fee, he will draw you a picture of your D&D or a LARP character. And one of the D&D games I have started playing during quarantine, half of the player characters have Dave Woodward profile pictures, and they're all super great. And so He usually does fantasy, but I said, I really like your style. I think it's very evocative, and so I said, here's a bunch of things that I want. He said, here's the art, and I said, that's great. And he said, if you have fantasy projects that you want done, please come back to me. I'm very tired of drawing straight lines in science fiction backgrounds. And I mean, I sympathize, because there's a picture in the book that hopefully people will see where he drew the entire ship computer room, and all it is those big flat rectangular panels with all the smaller rectangular buttons. And I was like, my eyes are crossing just looking at this. Oh my god, this must have been awful. But it looks great.
The ruler, getting all those lines.
Mm-hmm. It's like, just give me a simple stone passageway. It'll be great.
48-hour energy.
Dun dun dun.
Did you hear that? 40-hour energy. 48-hour energy.
40 hour?
48-hour energy. Oh, my brain. Sorry. Been a long week.
That's okay.
40-hour energy. When you don't need it for
enough to get
2
you
days.
through a full work week.
Yeah.
Hooray. Oh, another drowsy. Well, I got pills.
Well, good for you.
Everyone likes pills, right?
That game is so freaking dark. I love it.
It is a very dark game.
Yeah.
Dark like my soul.
So I hope that actually answered the question, because
It did.
Okay, good. Sometimes I'm like, did I do it, or am I a politician? And I said something completely different.
Well, you told me
you
who
gave
it was, so yeah.
Okay,
You gave
good.
a full studio and everything.
Yeah.
People can look him up and hire him. And
Yeah, you sure can.
We
He
should
would
have
love
him
that.
on the show at some point.
He would love to. Oh, I'm sure he would love that too. He would love to presumably not have to do his day job and make his money full time as an artist. But
wouldn't we all love that?
Yeah,
oh yes, yes.
Welcome
I
to the
should.
artist world.
Yeah, no kidding. Go liberal arts.
We're all artists here.
Yes.
We really are. My art is writing and YouTube and whatnot, you can say.
Nice.
Kason is YouTube and
I dabble in writing and drawing.
writing and drawing.
And creating.
Cool.
We're all DMs.
So you can talk to us in our DMs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
I got the dungeon ready.
Are
Oh,
you
that's- Whoa.
are you super saying? Sorry, my bad.
I haven't been super saying since Big Eyes, Little Mouth.
Ah.
I like Big Eyes Little Mouth. It's a good system.
It is.
I used to use it a lot. The D20 version.
Yeah.
So you know what you said? By the way, you mentioned something that you're using the tri-stat system in this one. Boldly go, right?
No, it's my own system.
Oh, okay. My brain. Where did I hear that? I'm an idiot then.
No, you're not an idiot. You're not an idiot. It's fine. No, I made up my own thing, but a lot of people say it's like Fate. So it may be like Fate.
I don't know what Fate is, but okay. Will I beat Mom? Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm at the final button, Dios.
Oh, good luck.
I never beat her.
I beat her
You got
once.
it.
I was only because the random number generator was with me.
That's part of it. It's all about skills and random generation.
May the luck be with you.
Yes.
I'm boldly going where no man has gone before. In
It's
Isaac's
the theme
mother.
of the stream.
I can't help it.
Gotta plug it.
I appreciate
oh. Come on. Yes! I beat it.
Nate, did you just beat Mom for the first time?
To serve her god was bearing down on Isaac.
Yay! I even got the speed achievement and Pride Day and a heart. Wow, I got all these achievements.
That's amazing.
Holy crap! The achievements keep going down.
For Isaac,
Today's a good day.
too strong.
Damn!
But just
Rocky
as he accepted
start,
his
and then we
fate,
switched games, and look what happened.
Yeah,
sending an
yeah.
angel down from above to
You're
stop
gonna have so many awards, you're gonna be looking like an
just
admiral.
like that. It was
Oh, I see what you did there.
Haha.
Admiral Crunch? Abno Crunch?
Admiral Crunch.
He got promoted.
The more I watch this,
Don't
the more I
advise me, Admiral.
Heather says, the more I watch this, the more I'm convinced I'm someone's revenge for their childhood game.
It might be. It might be. It's super disturbing.
It's a very disturbing game. I'm gonna have to give this video more different tags and everything. I should probably change the name of the video on,
Yeah, when you save it.
no, well, it technically does have it, like, just a little bit of gameplay.
Yeah, just throw in some Binding of Isaac tags too.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, this has been interesting, right? We're all
Yeah.
having fun, huh?
We all took a journey into the unknown.
And we get to add some Star Trek tags,
Yeah.
some tabletop RPG tags.
Game design tags.
I got the Purist. Unlocked all these things.
That is great.
Wow. I'm the Purist. I wasn't corrupted by Satan.
I thought purist meant you were one of those robot races.
Robot races.
I love how you're trying to tie everything back together. That's amazing.
Oh, the boy
I
was.
do my best.
He's pretty
I
good
really
at it.
appreciate you plugging the syntoids. That's awesome.
He's pretty good at it. Right
He
now,
is.
I can't think, and I'm playing a game, so I'm trying my best.
That's okay.
You comment on what you're doing, and I will try and tie it back.
Okay.
I will stretch my limbs as far as they can go.
That's not very far.
Yeah, I'm not Mr. Fantastic, sorry.
It's okay.
I
You're
realized.
fantastic to us.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's Mom. Let's do a new run again. This time as Magadalena or whatever her name is. I don't know.
That girl.
Yeah.
That girl. I'm bad at pronouncing names. Forgive me.
So you're fine.
Please forgive me. Please. Please.
Yeah.
Begging you.
As a game master, what are some of your favorite moments from running different campaigns?
My favorite moments are always when the players surprise me.
Yeah, same. You got some stories?
Yeah, let me...
The poop is moving.
Oh no! Shoot it!
Bro-
Shoot it with tears.
Gross.
I got an item that's called the poop is moving.
That's disturbing.
Oh,
So,
I get it.
I guess a recent example. I'm running Call of Cthulhu game for my friends on Tuesday nights, and early on they had to deal with the Silver Twilight Lodge, which fans of Cthulhu or fans of Arkham Horror may recognize the name. And so players are like, we got to take out this organization of evil cultists, but you know they're all like masquerading as upstanding members of the community, and they've got, you know, corrupt cops in their organization, and they've got lots of money, so they're bribing people. And they were like, okay, we got to stop them, but we don't know how. And then over the course of the adventure, they found out that basically two things. One is that the Silver Twilight Lodge has a spooky basement filled with monsters and caverns. And also that they found a linked set of magic wardrobes, where if you step into one, you go to the other one. And one of them is in the basement of the Silver Twilight Lodge, and the other one they stole. And so they're like, they're like, all right, what can we do with this? How are we going to do this? And after like an hour of talking, they're like, let's just get a truckload of dynamite and blow the whole thing up. And I said, well, okay.
Sure.
So there was this whole scenario. One of them is a mafia enforcer, and he got some dynamite, and then they all went through the magic wardrobe and fought a bunch of dudes and planted the dynamite. And as they were all warping back, the last one through the portal pushed the plunger, and the whole thing just collapsed into this giant sinkhole. And I was like, success.
Yep.
And it was great. Everybody was super enthusiastic, and they felt very clever, and I had to struggle to keep up and make sure it was interesting for them. But yeah, it's moments like that where it's like, oh, okay, so I guess what they're going to have to do is find this guy and defeat him and then get this key, and no, we're just going to blow up the building.
Right. And it tests your ability to improvise on the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I have been, when I was a less experienced game master, and I'm always learning new things, I would have been like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And I've played in games where the GM's like, no, you didn't, no. But I'm just like, okay, yes, give me a second to figure out what that looks like.
Right. Yeah, I had a campaign that I was actually playing as a player in, and it was a new DM, and I kept telling him, like, if he needed any advice or anything to ask me. And I threw him for a loop because he had this, like, game of, like, 3 kingdoms that were dueling for, like, control over an area. And I went in and beheaded one of the kings and took his throne.
Mm-hmm.
And I critted on my my negotiation with his military leader on, like, I'm the king now. And he's like, I don't know what to do because, like, I had a whole storyline involving that guy you murdered. And I'm like, that's why you can tell me no.
Right.
Like, if your story revolves around this person, bring him back to life.
Say he made a deal with a demon and now he's back, you know?
Exactly. I always feel bad when I derail someone new because it's like they don't know what to do, and it's like I want more people to game master. I want more people to experience the fun of the improvisation and being able to tell their own stories.
Yeah, I agree. It's, you know, when you figure out how to do it, it's great. But yeah, the first couple times when it's like, but it doesn't tell me what to do if you do that.
Yep. If they over prep or under prep.
Right.
I was always under prepping.
Oh, I was always improvising in the early days. I was on the fly just pulling things in and being like, this happens and this happens. Let's see if I can put a meta meme in there.
Right. I flipped back and forth between the two.
Yup.
I used to be completely by the seat of my pants, and then I was like, I think this would be better if I wrote everything down, but then I became too rigid, and then I figured out, like, okay, I just have to know what's going on enough so that when eventually they're like, no, we don't want to go right, we want to go left, I'll say, okay, here's what happens.
Yep, exactly. Have enough of your world in the vicinity of where they're going that you know what type of encounters they can come across.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, even if it's
and if
like
it's important for the story, you need to plug it in wherever they go.
Right.
Even though you know, like, all right, this is an area, this is really high level, they'll have to come here later, and you know, and if they want to go that way, do not stop them, let them go.
Yeah.
Let them
Absolutely.
do the higher level area. And if they come up with a way to be like, oh, we got an idea and they defeat the higher level, then damn, that makes it all the sweeter.
Yeah, props for them.
It's like,
One of
good
my
job.
favorite things I did, I had one guy who was getting a little too murder hobo-y
Okay,
in my
fair.
session. And I had all of his gear get stolen while he was resting and camping by what looked like a humanoid jumping through a portal. And he chased after it and discovered that it was the youngin in a group of bronze dragons, elder bronze dragons.
Oh no!
And he just jumps in the portal, goes, "Give me my," as he's staring at like 5 bronze dragons, and he just slowly backs back out the portal. And I'm like, yeah, fighting everything doesn't get you.
You know what? I just learned the lesson I'm supposed to learn here, so I'm gonna go.
Yep. Because he always complained that like I didn't put enough challenge in there, that there wasn't something that was like epically like murdery, and that he could kill everything. And I'm like, well, that's because you're only focusing on killing everything.
Right.
But that sounds, everyone plays the game differently, man.
No,
Yeah.
that's true.
And if that's the way they like to play it, that's the way they like to play it. And that's why there's different D&D groups that play the game very differently than others. I like to focus on the story.
I do too. I find that the reason why the game is the way it is because I am not someone who really studies or pays attention to or uses mechanics,
Yeah.
which can be frustrating for the people who do.
Yes.
They're like, it doesn't actually work that way, Jeff. That's not how the suffocation rules work. I'm like, right, okay, let me look in the book. It's like I was in the zone. But I know, I've played with some people who are really good about the rules, and it's seamless, but it doesn't really jive that way in my head for whatever reason.
My biggest thing with rules lawyers, I say, well, it's going to work that way right now, but we'll table it, and after the session, I'll review the rules and give you a reward if like you caught something that I messed up on.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well,
That's fine. And I'm always game for them to be like, for my players to say, well, hold on a second. Not that we
Right.
want to, wriggle our way out of consequences, but and I'm like, you know what? That does make sense. Okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
fine.
Sometimes my players will guess something's going on that wasn't, and I'm like, that's a better idea, so you're right. It happened.
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
how you said.
I did that too, and I'm actually going to. No, I won't say what game it is, but there was a game where the players were trying to find. Someone had gone missing, and they were like, this guy's been murdered. We're looking for the body, and the module's like, he's behind this wall panel in this room in a crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point I mentioned, oh, the fireplaces in this house are really clean. And I was trying to indicate to them, oh,
Right.
nobody's been there for a while. They were like, they shoved the body up the chimney. And I was like, yep, they did. And they were like, oh my god, we're geniuses. And like, you are geniuses because the other place was boring.
The other thing that I found really fun is I was running a 5th edition campaign, and we were doing the intro to Ravenloft,
Oh yeah.
the house there with the creepy ghost children.
Mm-hmm.
And they spent a good hour arguing back and forth over whether an eye patch with a gemstone was magical or not. And I'm just sitting there enjoying it. And I'm like, you could have always put it on your eye and find out. And they're like, it's a mimic.
A mimic.
2 hours later, one of them decides to put it on their eye, and I'm like, it's just an eye patch.
Oh yeah, I've done that before. Like, it's just this. It's really nothing. You're all worrying about nothing.
or sometimes I'm just like, yeah, it is a mimic.
Right.
So they're not
Spice
disappointed.
it up. Yeah. You gotta keep them on their toes.
Right. Like, we were right. we were right to distrust everything. It's like, oh no.
So, all right. So the current campaign I'm running, it's been running for like 75 episodes now, which is almost 2 or 3 years, and everyone loves this campaign for some reason. I guess I tell it well. And half of it's like I got it all planned, and half of it's like, yep, that happens, sure. Why not? And there's this part where like, okay, I'm gonna be a little lazy and like because Lexi's character made a pyramid out of nowhere because I didn't expect the magical beans to spawn a pyramid. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's random. Now there's a pyramid in my universe. Those don't exist, but now they do. Cool, I'll take it from Earth. How am I gonna make this pyramid though? Alright, cool. I'll just use a Dijon's random dungeon generator. Which I did.
Oh no.
It's like, cool. Alright, this looks solid. Yeah. And I'm looking it over, yeah. And they're going through the dungeon and they're like, okay, there's these pillars right here and here. And the pillars have nothing to do with anything. And the players are like, this had to do with something. We have to do something here.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, cool. And suddenly, they're like, let's knock over the pillar. You know what? Fuck it. There's like a weird riddle kind of going on over here. Sure. I gave him a weird random ring. It's like, we knew it. There's something here. It's like, yep. You got it, guys. Well done.
Success. And they go away and they're like, we're amazing and we did a cool thing and that was fun. And it's like, yeah.
Well, I totally just made it up though. And those are the best parts of some of the campaigns where, you run and then they finally get that final victory, that they've been working hard for.
Exactly.
But I'm not one just to give it all to them, because I like to see them work for it. You're gonna earn this thing. You're not just gonna get it. You're gonna earn it. And that's how I run my.
Like it or not.
That's how I run my shit. And my only downfall is like I forget that I give people certain things.
I do that too. Sometimes I forget what magic items I've handed out.
Uh-oh.
Can we allow this? Like, that looks totally legit. I look it over and I don't think about it, and then I'm like, that's not working out. It's like, well, you allowed it. I'm like, yeah, I did. And, what's the key of DMing is one of the biggest thing is, it's like learning to go as a DM or a GM or whatever storyteller you want to be. It's just going with the flow, like be like water,
Right.
Allow things, but have consequences, just let them, let it go, But it was supposed to be pertinent storyline. Then make something up.
Recently, I've started having them give me a copy of their character sheet and what they're going to do with their next level, so I can start foreshadowing the abilities they're building towards having.
Oh, nice.
And I really like how that goes because it feels more like a progression within an actual novel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely can see that. That's great. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then you're working with them, and so it's not like they decide out of left field, oh, actually, I'm an illusionist now. And you're like, wait.
Right, exactly. It's like I got them all to agree to do a heist campaign, and then one of them came to the table as a paladin.
What?
And I'm like, there's 3 rogues here, and they're gonna be like stealing a bunch of shit. What are you gonna be doing? He's like, I'm gonna be trying to stop them, and I'm like, I hope you're ready to play a lovable idiot.
Guys, no, stop.
So I did this one thing recently, all right? Matt's my second go-to. Like, he helps me out a bit. Was my campaign and all that, which is awesome. Like, it gives me less to think about. Because sometimes it's like, oh god, I gotta set up this and this, and Matt kind of helps me out with this. And Matt's like, okay, they're on the Sky Island in one of the campaigns. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. Just watch the whole campaign, all episodes of it. But if they're on the Sky Island, like, okay, I'm gonna have my character Crumb and this character, because Matt has multiple characters for some reason. It's like, that's just how it happened.
Sure, why
Like,
not?
okay, cool. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a separate thing here off screen, and we're gonna free the prison and all that. I'm like, cool. And they do that, and then I realize, you know what? We can make that a side quest. Matt's like, what? It's like, yeah, we're gonna have a side quest. Anyone wants to make prisoners? Go ahead.
Nice.
So
Surprise!
Surprise! Here's your other character. It's other characters. People get to play other characters. Like, Matt gets to play his other characters. It's just like, yeah, it's ongoing right now. He was just really surprised that I made it a whole side quest. He thought it was just gonna happen off screen.
Right.
But I had a stroke of
Neither of you
genius
got me.
at that moment. Just like, brain, this would be perfect. I know how it would lay out and all that.
Have either of you gotten the player that just gets bored of all their characters, kills them off, and comes with a new character every other week?
Yes.
How do you deal with that?
I heard of them, but I've never really got to deal with them.
It's hard. I don't know, because that's not anything that you have control over necessarily.
Right, and it's like you want to get their characters to grow and become something more important in the world, but when they give up on them before they even hit like 3rd level,
Right. Or when they're, it's like, I did that and I don't, and I mean, I have gotten players who are like, I made this character and I thought I was going to enjoy it. I've even been that player who's like, but I am not enjoying this.
Right.
And that's fine. But I've also had the person you described where it's like, for whatever reason, they're just like, every week it's, nah, this is a new person, and nah, that character died, and it's like, I feel like,
you've turned yourself into an NPC.
yeah, I'm like, I feel like there's we have to talk about something, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Because you can't get that emotional weight from their characters, and then like I've noticed other players start disconnecting to their new characters and not welcoming them as much because they know not to get attached.
Right. Or it's it's that old awkward thing. It's like, oh, is this your new character? Well, I guess we better figure out a reason why we'd let you into the party,
Exactly.
even though there isn't one. I've also had the problem of like I run games and this is a subset, I think, of that problem where it's like, okay, you are in this nation and you can play people from this nation, and nation B over there is your enemy. And one of the players is like, well, I want to play somebody from nation B. And I'm like, you see, no, that's not going to work. And they're like, but why not? And I said, because the players are at war with enemy nation B. And if you show up and you say, I'm from enemy nation B, one of two things will happen. They'll kill you. Or they will bend over backwards because they know you're a player to justify you being there. And then
it won't feel like natural.
yeah, and then there'll be this weird cognitive dissonance. It's like, well, everybody from that country is killed on sight except this one dude over here, and it's because it's Bill's character. It's like, okay. Like, I think on some level, as much as I want the players to be able to do,
What they want.
yeah, like, there has to be some kind of baseline understanding of what the game's about.
Right.
So, like, if we've all agreed we're going to play a heist game, don't be a paladin. Well,
Yeah.
if you're going to be a paladin, make it really interesting.
Right. That's why session zeros, I feel, are so important.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to have a character that it's like, well, why would your character evolve? What's the background? What do you add to this dynamic?
Right.
You know?
I
And
find
that's-
it interesting how many players I catch off guard when I first sit down with them, and I'm like, now tell me about your character's family life. Now tell me brothers, sisters, best friend growing up. Make your character as three-dimensional as possible so I have things to pull from for story.
Right. I don't necessarily need all of that up front, but I just
Yeah.
and this is one of the reasons why I moved away from D&D, because D&D, it's like, this is a game about fighting, and most of the things that you learn how to do are things that make you better at fighting. And that's not bad. That's fine. That's a fun game to play. I played it a lot, but like, it doesn't really help you make a person. And so, I'm in this Pathfinder game now, and it's fun. And I play a mushroom Lexi alchemist who is secretly a drug dealer, and like I am not fighty. I don't fight. So anytime we get into combat, that's the least interesting time for me. And anytime we do social stuff, that's the most interesting time for me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, well, everybody else is enjoying tearing these monsters in half. I'll have my time when we get back to the tavern, or when we have to negotiate with somebody, or whatever. But yeah, I prefer games that, even if you don't have to sit down and map out your entire character from the beginning, to say, okay, think about your character as a person rather than a list of cool abilities, and then go from there.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
One of my favorite players designed a cleric that had you sign a health insurance claim before he laid on hands, and that was really fun.
You must sign this health
That's
insurance claim? Jeez, that's crazy.
That's great. I'm suing you for malpractice, but but I healed you. What's going on?
Yeah, you signed your contract. You agreed that I am not at fault.
I actually do like Terry Pratchett a lot, and so I do like when fantasy games have I more of that real world sort of like slice of life bizarreness to it.
Yeah, like a little modern twist in some way.
Where it's like I just wrote a story where like there's this tavern that's being controlled by like a bad boss, and the main character is a waitress who is like better than this job, and who winds up taking over the tavern, and she says to the other employees, "Oh, so yeah, so I'm gonna look into getting you free healthcare and resurrections and stuff." And they're all like, "Woohoo, healthcare! I get dental." And that's like a modern, very American kind of story, but I was like, it's funny, whatever.
I
Dental
threw my
plan.
players full loop
Yeah.
with one of my final bosses in one of my campaigns. I made a lich bard who challenged them to a rap battle.
Oh,
in
that's
order to defeat
fantastic.
them.
That's fantastic.
And that was really great to roleplay out.
My friend John Lavallee, who lives in Canada, and I made a role-playing game called Critical Go Westerly, which takes place in a funny fantasy world.
Yep.
And one of his adventures that he ran, and I love it, it's players, it's like, okay, there's over the hill, down in the caves, there's this necromancer. He's a lich, bad news, you gotta stop him. So they go in, and there's all these skeletons, and they're wearing all of these like outlandish clothes, and they get to the end, and the lich is like, well, hello! Welcome to my cave! What did you think? And they're like, what did we think of what? And it's like, oh, I'm a fashion designer. Did you see all the couture on all of my undead minions? And they were like, are you serious? Like, we just mowed through a bunch of skeletons in fancy hats. We did. They were nice. And that was great because it was totally, like, you could see it coming and you knew what the plot was if you were paying attention, but it was completely unexpected. And, like, the players get to the last room, they're like, it's like it's like, I challenge you to a rap battle. I'm sorry, you what?
Yeah, exactly. And then I handed them each like sample rap verses for their characters in case they couldn't think of anything. So like the paladin got MC Pally's rap battle.
Oh no. Oh my god, that's great. That is so funny.
Step up, Lich. Don't make me lay my hands on your ass.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's brilliant. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
I love everything about that. I know people who would be like, no, I'm not doing this, I'm mad. But I would be like, oh, yes, we're rap battling this guy.
I always, so I've been playing with the same group since 4th edition first came out. I ran for a store and they followed me when that store unfortunately went under to playing in our homes and stuff. Right. So I always have to change it up and throw something unexpected at them.
I think that's good. I think it keeps everybody on their toes, and you know, it's not like, oh, it's yet another game where I'm playing the rogue or whatever.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I like puzzles.
Yeah.
Puzzles are awesome, and your puzzles are pretty cool, Nate.
My puzzles are crazy, man. I always come up with this weird theme of the dungeon, and it's like, that's the dungeon theme.
Nice.
Puzzling. Everyone's like, some people are like, oh, this is great, puzzles, and some people are like, I can't think it. I don't know the answer. Like, that's okay.
Are you familiar with the Einstein puzzle, who has the fish?
No.
I modified it for D&D, and I made it like different races from the playable classes and like different weapons and stuff, and you had to solve which weapon went with each person based on the hints. And I put that together, and like behind the puzzle was just a big room of treasure, and I was blown away. We had this one guy playing, it was in store, and he was high functioning autistic, and he just like burned through that puzzle so fast, and I'm like, that was my day's adventure.
It's like, solved it. What?
And I'm like, you get it all. Go through the door.
I've seen that happen. I play with a woman who does there's like a puzzle community, and they all they do is they make puzzles and they solve puzzles. Yeah. And so she has all of the basic puzzle solving things like on lock. So it's like, okay, it's a letter. It's written in English, but I substituted the letters with a cipher, and she's like, and this is what it says. I was like, that took you 2 minutes. She's like, yep. Now we know what to do. And I'm like, okay, great. Next.
Next puzzle, next thing. Come on, move it.
And I think at one point she said, well, you did start out with a very easy sentence where you said there is a, and that's just, you just fill that in and then you have most of the letters. And I was like, okay, I'll try harder next time. That was good.
Utero?
It's great because it encouraged me to try harder and harder puzzles later on.
Yeah.
Although I did get them with one. I'm big into like all types of music, so I decided to make a musical reference. So I had the symbol from Red Hot Chili Peppers over a small hole, and it said, "Insert the horn of the firstborn," and they thought that meant the penis of the firstborn son.
Wow.
Oh, no.
And they were very surprised when that cut their junk off.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No. Oh, good lord.
So they learned not to stick things in holes until
An
they were
important
sure.
lesson.
It was actually referencing Californication,
Oh, yes.
the firstborn unicorn.
Right.
So they just
Nice.
needed a unicorn horn.
Much more durable than your junk,
Yes.
I'm guessing. Gentlemen, I'm afraid I have to go. It is.
Oh wow,
it's
it is 10 o'clock
getting
already.
time for me to turn into a pumpkin.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's actually time to wrap up anyway. Thank you for joining us, Geoff.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. We'll have to set you up next time.
Okay, that'd be great. I hope next time the title game plays as intended.
Right.
And we get a Mad and Lexi on here.
Yeah, there we go. That'll be great. Yeah, I would definitely love to come back. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And plug in whatever you need to plug in. Or did you already leave?
Do you mean like an outlet or like
Where they can
like
find you,
plug
where
my
they
product.
can find your
Once
product.
again, you can support Geoff's new project, Boldly Go, by
Oh.
following the link in the chat room.
Yes, or you can
Or
find
you just
information
click-
by typing Boldly Go Kickstarter or going to GeoffQuest, GeoffQuest.com.
There we go. And thank you everybody for joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe. You know, check out Geoff on any upcoming projects, his Kickstarter. He'd appreciate it. We would appreciate it. And with
Yes.
all of that, we're gonna go now. And everybody, nerds!
Nerds.
I like waffles and Sunday soup. I don't know. I always think something random. All right. I'll see you
Yeah.
around, Geoff.
Okay, take care, you guys. It was nice talking to you.
You
Nice
too.
chatting,
Take care.
All right, have a good night.
That was great.
Ring my bell, ring my bell.